What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Darhkseid here, and I'm back with another video, man. And today I am going to be going over our latest update, the Italian Dragon update for Undisputed. If I sound a little under the weather, it is because I'm sick, which is why I didn't have the video out yesterday. But I figured I can go ahead and just talk about my thoughts real quick on the update and kind of where we are as the game in a whole. So let's go ahead and start at the top here. As you guys can see, a little bit of an introduction to what they're going to be talking about today in the update. And as you guys can see, the biggest thing here is that we do have 3 new fighters, 3 new venues, AI improvements, and more. Going on to who those new fighters are, we do have Joe Calzaghe, the Pride of Wales himself. He has been added into Undisputed along with the Duke Tommy Morrison and Adam Hamed. Actually 3 good additions, believe it or not. I've used each already. I think Hamed is actually my favorite, surprisingly, right? Joe Calzaghe is a monster though. He's definitely probably going to be the meta. He has a really good 1-2, so most likely will become the meta. He's really good. Tommy Morrison is pretty good too and pretty well balanced. But of course, in the way the game plays right now, yeah, I can't really tell you that he's really that good because damage is so low in this outside fighter meta. It's hard for me to recommend anybody who needs to get onto the inside to do some actual work. But as far as Hamed goes, he has some of the most unique animations in the game. I really like his animation set. I like his movement. He kind of gives me George Davey vibes as far as someone being pretty low rated, but very, very usable in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to be using Hamed a lot at the lightweight division. I definitely encourage you guys to check him out. I'll have a video out on each of these guys probably within the next day or so. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Moving on to the venues, we have the Lighthouse Theater, which is an old school theater with a striking curved ceiling and a backlit stage. We have Magna, which is based on a real life science adventure center located in Rotherham, England. We have the Santiago Gym, a gritty South American inspired fight venue. So 3 pretty cool venues, I must say. I played on each of them as well, and they're pretty cool in their own right. No complaints there. But there is complaints for this update. Trust me, there is. There's no complaints where we've been so far, but here's where I'm going to get to complaining. So gameplay changes, right? They've implemented new body block animations so that shots to the body can be more effectively blocked, and they've also updated the block transitions to make it look smoother. I kind of feel this, and at the same time I kind of don't. Body uppercut spam is one of the key areas that they've said they're going to be addressing, and this is one of the steps in addressing that. While I do think it's more effective than it was previously, and why more effective I mean blocking the body is more effective than it was previously, you can definitely still spam the body uppercut. The body uppercut's tracking is just ridiculously OP. It's like a heat-seeking missile. It just hits you all the time. They would just be better off lessening the tracking on that punch and just allowing you to be able to move out of the distance or move out of the range and be able to control the distance better when they're attacking your body with uppercuts. But that's my personal opinion on that. So body uppercut spam is still a very viable strategy in my opinion, just not as bad as it was before. Speaking of another punch that needs to be massively updated, the step back straight animation. So they have adjusted the step back straight animation to be more in line with other punches. This should make it more difficult to land more than one back step straight in quick succession. Now this, I feel, was way more effective than the body uppercut fix. So now you will still get hit with the back step cross, but you just won't get doubled and tripled up on as you were before. The movement is greatly reduced now when they try to double up on the punch. So I still need to play a little bit more with it to see how effective it is just on the singles, because the single back step cross was a problem within itself. That's what a lot of people weren't understanding. It wasn't just the chain that was making it OP. Just the fact that you could throw it at the end of every combination, you throw it at the end of everything, basically avoid any type of counter, is a big problem as well. But I haven't played against it too much yet to see how effective that is, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Punch cooldown that activates arm fatigue has been reduced. Arm fatigue should feel more consistent and less restrictive. I think that's a good change. Arm fatigue, as you guys probably know, was originally implemented into the game to deal with hook spam when hook spam was a big issue. Now that the health system has changed, it's not as much of an issue. Instead of removing punch fatigue altogether, they kind of just reworked it a little bit. I believe there is no longer any punch fatigue on jabs. So now jabs are not restricted by punch fatigue, which is a great change, and I'm glad they finally made that. Adjusted dodges when a fighter is close to the ropes. Players should not be able to dodge closer to the rope, so I guess there was some type of restriction going on there, which now there should not be one. So hopefully, I really don't care too much for anything that enhances backfoot fighting as it is already, but hey, if that's your type of game, man, go figure for you. Also adjusted weaving on the ropes. So now you can weave back fully while on the ropes. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. So you can kind of fly off the ropes a lot better than you could before. That's a pretty good change as well. But you guys notice what you don't see here, right? No change to power, no change to stamina. No change to power, no change to stamina. No mention to change of power, no mention to change of stamina. It is a gigantic L in my opinion. Because essentially what this is telling you is the game plays exactly the same way it's been playing for the past, what, month now, 2 months now. So nothing's changed as far as that goes for the majority. I played a few matches, everything is pretty much consistent to what we've been playing for the majority of the past few months. Still able to throw 1200 punches, 1300 punches with whoever you choose for the majority. I was using Tommy Morrison earlier, I threw 1000 punches, I had like 86% stam at the end. Still no damage change at all whatsoever, plays exactly the same. So it is kind of disheartening when you see stuff like that, because that's the biggest piece of the gameplay, right? Now we have to wait probably another month before we get any other update. And you know, with damage and stam how it is now, it's definitely not in a good spot. That's a super L in my opinion. It's leading me to believe that the damage and stam is tied more to the desync than we probably think, which is why they haven't adjusted it. That's the only logical explanation, because there's no other reason they should leave it in this state as long as they've had. I mean, it's basically been since the beginning of early access we've been asking for, you know, bigger tax on stamina and more damage. We've been saying that since early access dropped months ago. So I'm assuming that's the main reason why we haven't gotten the patch for that. But I really need them to talk about that during the roundtable, because it's becoming to a point now where it's like they keep expecting us to play. They give us more people to play on the same bad game state as it's been already. You know, it kind of does give to a lack of awareness in a certain aspect. I mean, I would have expected to see some type of, at least like some type of like, we're working on it, yada yada, whatever. It's in the works type thing here. It would have been great to see, because that's like one of the biggest complaints in the community right now, and it's not even close. So hopefully we hear something about that fairly soon. Maybe during the roundtable they will explain what's going on with that, because it's desperately needed at this point. Moving on to AI changes. So they're introducing AI fight strategy, which is basically AI fighters can now adjust to how a fight is going and kind of choose to be more or less aggressive, throw more or fewer punches, and adjust which punches they're throwing. So this is kind of like adaptive AI in a way, which is pretty neat. Honestly, shout out to Little Mac, which is one of the AI. He might be the main AI gameplay designer as it stands, but shout out to Little Mac. He's making some great changes with the AI work. I really like the improvement. That might be the biggest improvement since early access has dropped, has been the AI. It's improved like a good deal, surprisingly enough, and the AI is playing better each patch. So shout out to Little Mac for that. He's doing a great job with the AI. I'm loving how they're constantly evolving the AI and trying to get to a point where basically it's learning what you're doing, trying to counter you and not giving you the same look the whole fight. So it's definitely changes for the AI, and it's definitely playing better than it did even off of the last patch. And now we have a couple of fighter changes. They've removed the lightning hands off of welterweight and middleweight American. I'm assuming lightweight American still has lightning hands, which is great for people who like to play in lightweight, because you're just going to see nothing but Americans. Josh, okay, so it looks like 1, 2. So okay, so all these boxers right here all were affected by the southpaw bug. Natasha Jonas, Usyk, Martinez, and Josh Taylor. So they fixed those 4 people who were affected with the southpaw bug. I know they mentioned even though multiple southpaws are affected by this, the fix is more of a case by case basis. So it's not one fix that will fix all the southpaws. You'd have to go individually to each boxer, which is why there's only a certain amount of boxers shown here. These are the ones that are fixed. I will say I've used Natasha Jonas and Josh Taylor, and both of them are very good. The same thing with Usyk. Speed really matters a lot, and Martinez is even better than he was before, believe it or not. So those are good changes if you like using those boxers. Now Vasily Lomachenko, they adjusted. Why is his name spelled like this? Okay, I just realized that. Yeah, they gotta fix his name. They're tweaking. But they adjusted the animation for Lomachenko's pivot left body hook. But to me, I've used him since the patches dropped. His accuracy is still very bad. He's practically unusable in a lot of cases because his punches just don't connect. So if it was me, I would highly suggest avoiding using Lomachenko right now until he's properly fixed. But yeah, that's just me. And see, they also added more commentary lines for specific fighter matchups like Fury Wilder and Froch and Groves, which is a dub. They updated Kenny Bayless's facial animations in the pre-fight cutscene. Okay, let's see what bug fixes we have. Anything interesting? I think the Steam achievement one is the one that people noticed a lot, so that's a good fix. Never noticed that. I guess I kind of noticed that. Wasn't really a bother for me. I never noticed this one as well. And this one's kind of an issue for a while, so I guess that's good that they fixed that as well. But also, that's for some reason is not listed in these changes. They did update Rocky Marciano's, like, his idle movement. Now he moves a lot more like you would expect Rocky Marciano to move. He has unique animations as far as his movement goes, and I'm pretty sure they updated his model and his hook animations as well. So Rocky Marciano has been updated. Don't know why that's not in the patch notes, but he's been updated, and also I think they did something to Roy Jones Jr. I think they updated like his hair or something. But his model looks kind of off now for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And also Calzaghe is also bugged. He has a 92 overall in game, but his stats are exactly the same as Carl Froch, I believe. So he is bugged as well. And he also has a very buggy one too, where he's extremely fast. So I assume they'll do some type of hotfix change for that as well. So that pretty much wraps it up for the changes. As far as the game state as a whole right now, nothing has really changed for the most part. It's still like in a place where we're begging at this point for more damage and higher attacks on stam, higher attacks on whiffing, more damage on counter punches, a lot of things that we've been asking for. Not a lot has changed, so if you were hoping for a big change as I was to the game, how the game has played itself, it did not come yet. But like I mentioned, I'm assuming this is probably tied to the desync, which it seems like it might be, but until we hear them talk about it on the roundtable, we won't know for sure. That's just me thinking what it probably is. But yeah, unfortunately, we do not have a big change to the gameplay as a whole, so it's pretty much still the same, which is an L in my opinion. But it is what it is. We will have to wait till the next update at this point. But yeah, it is what it is, man. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys leave a like down below. Also, comment what you guys think about this latest update, and what are you guys waiting on them to fix. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy.